Hi, thank you for joining me today. Welcome to Sweet Bliss Yoga. This class might be helpful for you if you sit all day, perhaps at work, or if you've been traveling, if you work at a computer a lot. So some of these poses can help stretch out your spine and reverse some of that hunched forward posture we can sometimes have if we sit at a desk all day. So we'll begin in a wide forward fold, so taking your feet wide on the mat, parallel to the edges of your mat, and we'll just fold forward here. You just go down as far as you can, whatever feels comfortable for you, and we'll bend into one knee and then the other, just loosening things up here, going at your own pace. And then coming to center and just letting it hang. Letting your spine decompress. Bending into your knees, rolling up. And taking your feet pointed out, we'll come into a goddess pose. So bending into your knees and taking your hands into a cactus shape, squeezing your shoulder blades together. We'll take an inhale and straighten up, reaching up. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, come back down and hold. Inhale, coming up. And we'll take the left foot into a 45-degree angle. We'll come into a warrior two pose. So you might need to adjust your feet, make them a little bit wider. Bending into the right knee. Take an inhale. And exhale here, bending a little further. And on your next inhale, rotating your torso towards the right and coming up on the ball of that left foot, reaching your arms up into a high lunge. Take an inhale. On your exhale, take your hands into a cactus pose again. Inhale, straighten your knee, lift up. Exhale into a cactus, bending in the right knee. Inhale up. And exhale, coming back down. Inhale, lift up. And coming back towards center, we'll come down into a forward fold. Swaying back and forth. Bending your knees, rolling up. Inhale, arms up. On your exhale, pointing your left toes out to the side and your right foot at a 45-degree angle, bending into that left knee. Inhale. Exhale, bend further. On your next inhale, turning your torso to the left, coming up on the ball of that right foot. And exhale, bringing your arms down into a cactus. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift up. And coming back to center. And another standing wide forward fold. Walking your right hands towards the right side of the mat, shifting your right foot into a low lunge position. Untucking your back toes, pressing your left hand into the mat, and lifting your right hand up towards the ceiling. And coming back down, we'll switch legs. So taking the left leg into a low lunge, untucking that back foot, pressing the right hand into the mat, lifting the left hand up towards the ceiling. And bringing your hand back down. Taking your left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Walking your dog out here. Coming into plank. Knees and chest down, scooping up into a cobra. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips up. Downward facing dog. Allowing your knees to drop down, coming into a tabletop. And we'll stretch out our wrists here. If you can rotate your fingers towards your knees. You can do this one hand at a time, or you can try both hands at the same time. Today I'll do one at a time. So I've got my right fingers towards my right knee, stretching into my right wrist. And you can take tiny circles here in one direction and then the other. And switch hands. Left fingers pointed back towards the knee. Just breathing into it for a moment. And then taking those tiny circles in one direction and then the other. And we'll take a cat and cow here, inhaling, belly dropping down, looking up, exhale, pressing into the earth, belly button towards the spine. Inhale. We'll take another low lunge here, so bringing that right foot in between your hands again. You can use your left foot to walk that knee back a little bit if you need a little extra stretch in your hip flexor. And if it feels okay for you today, we're going to bring our torso up. You can place your hands on your knee to help you up, and clasp your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulders back, taking locust arms. Looking up towards the ceiling, taking a little back bend here. And coming back down, we'll try this on the other side. So bringing the left foot forward between the hands, adjusting that back knee as you feel comfortable. You can use that hands on the knees to lift yourself up, clasping your hands behind your back. You can use opposite clasp this time. Rolling your shoulders back and down, taking a little back bend here. And release. Let's take a little child's pose here. Taking the knees wide, toes together, hands out in front of you. And coming up back to hands and knees, we'll take a modified side plank here. So taking your right foot out to the side like a kickstand, and you can straighten your left leg, coming up into a modified side plank. You can place your hand on your hip or lift your hand up towards the ceiling, trying to keep your shoulders away from your ears, so pressing into the ground with your right hand. And if you'd like to make this a little more difficult, you can lift that left leg up, using your core for stability here. Shaking is normal. and release. We'll take it to the other side. So coming from a tabletop position, taking that left foot off the mat to the side and straightening that right leg out, pressing into the ground with that left hand. If you'd like to lift your right hand up towards the ceiling, and again, if you'd like to lift that extended leg up to make this more intense. And coming back down to table. Now lifting up onto your knees, we'll try a camel pose here. So you can place your hands like you're going to put them in the back pockets of a pair of pants or jeans. And just shifting the hips forward slightly, keeping your shoulders down, and taking a small back bend and see how that feels. If you'd like to go further, you can reach back for your heels, lifting your chest and your chin up towards the ceiling. But you don't want to drop your head back and crunch your neck, so try to keep your neck long. Try to keep breathing here. And coming back up. We'll make our way onto our belly. And we're going to go ahead and take a locust pose. So forehead to the mat, big toes touching. Clasp your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulders back, straighten your arms as you come up, lifting your chest and your legs up off the mat. And release. Take a deep breath. Just allowing your breath to flow in and out. We'll take another locust pose, so clasping those hands behind your back, rolling your shoulders back and down, lifting your chest and your legs up. And release. Pressing back into a child's pose once more. Pressing those your hips towards your heels. Forehead towards the mat. And making your way back up, let's come to a seat, extending both legs out in front of you. We'll take a seated forward fold. And before we fold, let's make sure our sits bones are against the ground. Press your hands into the mat if you can reach the mat. If not, that's okay. So you want to roll your shoulders back and down, keeping a straight spine. Feeling your crown lifting towards the ceiling. Take an inhale up, bring your arms up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, reaching towards your feet, see where your hands land. They might be on the mat, on your legs. You might reach your feet here. Keep a long spine at first. Take an inhale, stretching your spine longer. And on your exhale, let yourself fold over. And using your hands to help come up. We'll make our way down onto our backs and take a banana pose before our final Shavasana. So taking your feet, pressing into the mat to lift your hips and place them over towards the right side of your mat, placing your feet over towards the left and adjusting your torso towards the left to make a banana shape. And you can cross that right ankle over the left. You can clasp your elbows if that feels good. The goal is to feel a nice stretch all along the right side of the body. And we'll switch sides, pressing your feet into the mat, lifting your hips up and over to the left side of the mat, taking your feet and your torso towards the right. And once again, you can cross your left ankle over the right if that feels good for you today. Try to make sure that your hips are flat on the mat, your sacrum is on the mat, so you're not rolling your hips to the side. Feeling a nice stretch all along the left side of the body. And releasing, pressing your feet into the mat, adjusting your hips towards the middle of the mat, letting your legs fall out and your arms out to the side, palms up, taking a Shavasana, your final resting pose for today. Wiggling your fingers and toes, starting to wake up a little bit here. And when you're ready, rolling onto one side and making your way back up to a seat. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you've enjoyed this video, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have lots of videos available on the channel right now, and I'm adding a new video every week. I hope to practice with you again soon. Have a wonderful day.